Hello, named Jalise. Welcome out everyone to my Last Kingdom Season 4 review, everybody. I will be doing spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled about this, don't watch it. But before I even spoil anything, I'm going to let you know before I spoil everything. Let me just say this. Last Kingdom Season 4 had to do what Viking Season Season 5 had to do. Basically, after the death of one of the main characters, they had to rebuild the franchise in a sense. And last Season 4, they had to rebuild it after the death of Alfred. Edward's now taken over. He's the new king of Wessex. He's dealing with his father-in-law, who's trying to manipulate him. Also his mother, who he's kind of not taking her side or to kind of not listen to, which we all didn't like. No, we all like because, she's a very dislikable person, even though she changes up a bit this season. Now, the thing is, though, again, when you're fixing up a new character, certain things are going to change and certain things are not going to be the same. To me, Last Kingdom Season 4 is the weakest of the Last Kingdom seasons, but it's still a very good season. Out of a grade, it's an A minus, but that's not a bad grade for Last Kingdom. Last Kingdom, to me, the first season was an A minus, second season an A minus, third season an A. I mean, I really enjoy Last Kingdom's storyline, and there's a lot of things. The reason why I do not like this season, in some cases, not like the season, but at certain points away that takes away from being my least favorite season. But the first 4 episodes deals with Uhtred in love with not Aethelred, but Alfred and Alfred's daughter and all this stuff. He's in love with her, and to me, I didn't want them to be in love. I didn't want them to get together and all that stuff. The first 4 episodes deals with Aethelred, the king of Mercia, decides to go to East Anglia or Northumbria and try to take over that place. And in doing so, he leaves Mercia undefended, which is run over by Brida and her now boyfriend, husband, Canute. Ragnar's cousin and all that stuff. Everything goes through like a great change, and Aethelred doesn't know about anything's happening about that stuff. Edward doesn't know he should help defend his sister's kingdom, or even though he's not the king of Mercia and all that stuff, should he get involved? And his father-in-law says don't get involved. His mother says get involved in all this stuff. So basically, his sister, Edward's sister, basically pushes his hand, and he has to join the fight. And Uhtred, during this time, goes to Bebbanburg to reclaim his country, reclaim his homeland from his freaking uncle. And sorry for spoilers, but we're going to spoil it. He goes over there, Father Biaka dies, and the uncle dies too, but the uncle, Uhtred's uncle, is killed by freaking his uncle's son. And the new son is the new master of Bebbanburg, and he's going to probably go against Uhtred. During this time, I like a lot of stuff with how Alfred's ramifications of Season 3 of, taking Uhtred's children into the church and all this stuff. His son is now a Christian, so he's trying to bond with his son, Uhtred. His daughter's still a Saxon, so is that much. I say this season had a lot of great things going for it. But some of the things I did not like, again, we did not need to see. I hate the fact that we get Uhtred with another love interest, and we know it had to be this woman, and I did not want it. I did not want Alfred's daughter to be in love with Uhtred and to have a storyline like this. I did not want this. And the problem is, though, when we see such, like, his children grow up, Uhtred does not age. He's never have age, and this is a big problem. And people say, oh, well, Vikings, Lagertha didn't age. Well, Uhtred doesn't age. He doesn't age. His uncle didn't age. None of these characters aged, in my opinion, and all this. If he wants to say, oh, Last Kingdom was more realistic and more faithful to history, not so much. I mean, they do a lot of great stuff, but Last Kingdom, there's a whole debate I could have about Last Kingdom versus Viking, about what's real, what's not. Last Kingdom doesn't really show a lot about what makes a Viking, or Danes, or like Danes is just the chronicle saga of Danes going into England and Uhtred's journey. Destiny is all that stuff. And again, the first 3-4 episodes, it deals with Uhtred going to Bebbanburg, him going back to defend Alfred's daughter and all that stuff to help the crown of Mercia. And then during this time when Aethelred's dying, Edward's trying to pick a successor. And he's thinking his niece. Aethelflaed is fleeting with Uhtred and all that stuff. During this time, a great sickness comes upon the land. Very convenient timing. And basically when the conflict is solved in court, the sickness is no longer there, apparently. I mean, certain things they use as plot device, the sickness and all this stuff, and Aethelred leaving again. Here's the thing, we have so many plot lines of Athelflaed being defended by Uhtred. Uhtred always coming to her rescue and all that stuff. And we see so many of that in Season 2 and Season 3, and I did not want to see it in Season 4. Another thing I did not like about this season is the fact that when Brida is captured by the by the Welsh, and all that stuff, and Uhtred had a chance to kill her but did not kill her. She seeks revenge on him. She wants him dead, and she swears revenge upon him in the season finale. I will lead my child to hate you and all that stuff, and breed for a future generation. New rivalry will continue, and I did not want that. Brida versus Uhtred is a thing I did not want about, since they had a reconciliation in season 3. I'm glad that they avenged Ragnar and Canute died like a piece of shit he is. I agree. I like a lot of stuff in season 4, but to me, like the middle half after they drive the Danes away, Edward is struggling with his kingdom and all that stuff, but then again the Great Plague comes around, this plague that comes around, the sickness, and they don't, after everything in Mercia is resolved, we don't see much more about the sickness or any more impact. And certain storylines I kind of wish they continued with Uhtred's children and all this stuff, develop them a bit more, and then you could have like Canute's cousin come in season 5 and all that stuff. But to me, I just think they kind of rushed certain things with Canute's cousin coming along, or like family member and all this stuff just coming around and trying to invade Winchester, and Edward's trying to use Uhtred. He needs Uhtred's help to get into there. I like the fact that we get Edward's son involved about his bastard children and both his heirs. I like Edward as a character. I enjoyed him as a character. I liked a lot of things about the season, but to me, you know how you feel like there's just too much in the season, like there's just so many plot lines. You got like 5 different plot lines in the first freaking like 4 episodes, and that is like 2 seasons worth in 1 season. And in 4 episodes, you got Uhtred's returning to Bennenberg, Othin's bonding with his children. You got his uncle in Bennenberg, his sons come back. Then you got the son trying to kill the father. Then you got Father Bianca dying. Then you got Uhtred has to go rescue Athelflaed again. Then Edward doesn't know what he's going to do here with Athelflaed. It's just a lot of so much moving parts that you really need to take your time. I would not recommend binge watching each like I wouldn't recommend binging this entire scene. I would recommend watch 1 episode a day or 2 episodes a day. That's it. Don't go to 3. Don't go to 4. Don't do that to yourself, because you are going to get lost. You got to take a time to appreciate this season. You got to take a time to appreciate all the different storylines and the elements. With Last Kingdom, like, for the most, they all had a singular goal. The first season, we were just trying to get land, and he's trying to seek revenge upon the persons that basically robbed him of a lot of stuff in life. He's trying to elevate the station in season 1. Season 2, he's trying to basically help King Alfred still a bit. He's trying to like stop the rifts. He's trying to stop the Danes around. There was a simple plan in season 1, 2, and in 3. Season 3, he's betrayed by Alfred in the sense, and then he's trying to get the revenge for the death of Ragnar and all that stuff. But for season 4, it's just like so many plot lines. First he goes to Bebbanburg, then he goes then he loses in Bebbanburg. He loses Father Bianca. Then he also was trying to unite, trying to bond with his son and daughter and all that stuff. Then you had the whole after Red dying, the King of Mercia dying. Edward doesn't know whether or not he should go in there or not. He decides to wants Ethelflaed's daughter to marry the future King of Mercia and all that stuff. You have Uhtred and Ethelflaed's relationship. I mean, that's 6 right there. So I could go on and on about so many different plot lines. About Brida, and then Brida learned about that, how Canute was a plot in Ragnar's death. That's 7. Brida's slave, then she's seeking revenge. I mean, there's so much storyline that's going into this 1 season, and you really gotta take your time to watch it. But to me, again, I kind of wish a couple things changed in season 4. There was just too much stuff happening. Great stuff, but just too much. It was like too much spices in one sauce, and it's a very, very good season. It's a great season, but just too much to like. Again, maybe I would have liked it better if I didn't binge everything, but to me, there's just too much stuff involved. There were certain storylines that I did not want to see again. Ethelflaed and Uhtred were always protecting her. I kind of wish they just, had sex and that's it. They always have a bond between them and all that stuff, but I did not like the fact that they loved each other and all that stuff, and he gave up the woman he loved and all that shit. we didn't really need more of that. I mean, certain things I did enjoy about the season. I liked Edward as a king again, but there's just so much stuff happened in the season. The fact that Uhtred wasn't aging, or a lot of characters weren't aging, in a sense. The ones that did age, the children that did age, Uhtred should be like in his late 40s or early 50s. And all that stuff, to me, in my opinion. So when this is kind of like a superhero drama in a sense, like Uhtred's never gonna die. That entire thing about Last Kingdom, that Uhtred will not die. The last season will be Uhtred dying and all that stuff, and that kind of takes away for the show The Last Kingdom. But to me, I kind of wish in some case we had Uhtred raising his son to take over the mantle and all that stuff. And maybe Uhtred doesn't get revenge in Bennenberg. Maybe you could have his son doing that stuff. But they went a different plot line. I understand why. But to me, Last Kingdom Season 4 was a great season. It had a lot of stuff in it, a little bit too much stuff. And I would recommend watching this entire season 2 episodes at a time or 1 episode at a time. You shouldn't go 3 episodes at a time, 4 episodes at a time, or even try to watch the entire season the entire day. I would not recommend that. It's a great season. I think you're going to appreciate it more if you just take your time with it. Enjoy the characters, enjoy the storylines and all that stuff. I know it's exciting. I know it's interesting. It wants you to watch every single episode because they're so interesting and so action-packed and they're so well-written and all this stuff. But you got to take your time. In my opinion, take your time with Last Kingdom Season 4 and you'll enjoy the season a lot more than I did. I'm going to probably rewatch it and I'll probably make it put it higher than Season 1. But I don't think it's better than Season 3 at all or better than Season 2. But let me draw take one. Subscribe if you like, disagree about me, comment down below, let me know, respect my opinion, I respect yours. What you all personal think about Last Kingdom Season 4? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Did you think it was too much like I did? Or you think it was the best season of all time, Last Kingdom? So, let me know what y'all think, everyone. Name's Jalise, and I everybody. Bye.